Amidst the concrete of modern New York, historic streets hide where time has stopped. Today's focus is on Clinton Hill and Fort Greene. This route passes unique architectural gems, from monumental Gothic cathedrals to striking Spanish forms. Behind every stone wall lies a century of evolution and the spirit of old America. Let's look deeper into Brooklyn's heritage. The first historical landmark on our list is the Cadman Memorial Church. This building has a very special character, preserving the spirit of old New York since 1923. It was built in the Neoclassical style, and its massive columns are reminiscent of ancient Greek temples. Looking at these walls, it's hard to believe they've stood here for over a century, remaining almost unchanged against the backdrop of a modern metropolis. Interestingly, the church is named after S. Parks Cadman, 100 years ago. This man was a real star. They called him the Doctor of all Americans because he was one of the first to hold religious broadcasts over the radio, reaching a massive audience across the country. The architecture here really speaks for itself. The intricate stonework and the way the light plays on the facade create a strange sense of peace, even with the city buzzing all around. Over the decades, the community has changed, but this building stands firm as a cornerstone of the neighborhood. It's a solid reminder of Brooklyn's heritage, not just a place of worship. Moving on. Just steps away on the same street, we come across a completely different style of architecture, the Emmanuel Baptist Church. Completed in 1887, this Gothic revival masterpiece feels much more ancient and imposing. Its ornate stone walls have witnessed nearly 140 years of history, standing as a testament to the grand vision of architect Francis H. Kimball. It's not just a beautiful structure, it's a monument to the craftsmanship of an era that transformed the face of Brooklyn. The facade is crafted from meticulously carved stone, featuring grand arched portals and a distinct annex that adds to its unique character. If you look closely at the towers, you can see the intricate Gothic arches and narrow windows, designed to make the building feel like it's reaching for the sky. Even today, it remains one of the most striking landmarks in all of Brooklyn. Returning to that same intersection, we can't overlook a building often called the Cathedral School, the Queen of All Saints, built between 1910 and 1913. This structure was a bold statement for the Brooklyn community of that time. Its creators, Rayleigh and Steinbach, achieved something rare. They integrated a fully functioning school directly into the grand architecture of a church. It's a massive fortress of stone, adorned with dozens of hand-carved statues and guardians that have watched over these streets for over a century. At the time of its construction, this was the heart of Brooklyn's Gold Coast, designed to serve the wealthiest residents of the neighborhood. The interior is just as legendary as the facade, featuring a vast, column-free space that allows for perfect acoustics and an unobstructed view of the altar. It's a place where every square inch was designed to impress. More than just a house of worship, it remains a monument to a time when Brooklyn aimed to blend education, status, and faith into a single, breathtaking masterpiece of design. But the true scale of this project becomes clear only when you realize that even the local school was built to look like a Gothic palace. Every detail here, from the massive arched entrances to the smallest carvings on the side annex, was meant to show the strength and unity of the community. Today, this cathedral school remains a rare New York landmark where daily life meets high art. It's not just a relic, but a living part of the neighborhood that still commands respect. Even after a century, its presence is as powerful as the day the first stone was laid. But if you keep moving further, you'll find a place that feels even more grounded in the very soil of Brooklyn, St. Mary's Episcopal Church. Standing since 1859, this building takes us back even further, to the era before the great bridges and skyscrapers. While the other landmarks we've seen are grand and imposing, St. Mary's has a different kind of power. It's built in the Gothic revival style from dark, rugged brownstone, giving it a raw, authentic look. That makes it feel like it grew right out of the earth. The architecture here was designed by Richard Akmuti, a partner of the legendary James Renwick Jr. If you look at the heavy stone walls and that sharp green patina spire reaching into the clouds, you can see the ecclesiological vision of that time. A belief that a church should look like a medieval English parish using honest, natural materials. There's no plaster or fake finishes here, just solid, hand-cut stone that has weathered over 160 years of New York winters. What's truly fascinating about St. Mary's, though, is the spirit of the people who built it. Back in the mid-19th century, most churches in New York charged families a pew rent to sit during service. But St. Mary's was a pioneer, becoming one of the first free churches in the city. This meant that no matter how much money you had a right to a seat. It wasn't a club for the elite. It was a sanctuary for the working class of Clinton Hill. Today, the church stands as a bridge between two worlds. On one side, you have the original 1850s brownstone and the Victorian-era parish house, and on the other, a brand new modern addition that shows the community is still growing. It's a rare spot where you can stand on the sidewalk and see 3 centuries of Brooklyn's evolution in a single glance. Even as the neighborhood transforms around it, St. Mary's remains a quiet, stony anchor, a reminder that in this fast-paced city, some things are built to last forever. Continuing our journey, we stop before the grand facade of the Church of St. Luke and St. Matthew. This building, completed in 1891, is a true architectural manifesto of the Romanesque Revival era. When you look at its massive stone walls and heavy arches, you feel the same confidence and scale that defined the turn of the Centuria. Time when Brooklyn was forming its unique identity. The history of this parish is a story of unity. In the 1940s, 2 separate congregations, St. Luke's and St. Matthew's, merged under one roof, beginning a new shared chapter that continues to this day. This place has never been a static museum. It is an active spiritual center. Even now, the community puts immense effort into preserving its heritage. A recent large-scale restoration of the facade, which returned the stone to its original texture and color, allows us to see the building exactly as the architect John Rich intended over 130 years ago. Standing before the majestic stained glass windows and observing the intricate stone masonry, you notice how the light plays on the facade, highlighting the craftsmanship of that era. Here, where silence blends with the sounds of the city, architecture becomes something more than just a structure. It is a way of life for a community that refuses to let its history fade. This church reminds us once again, buildings constructed with such dedication and attention to detail have an amazing ability to survive and remain symbols of the neighborhood. No matter how much time has passed, the way the light hits the stone at different times of the day transforms the facade. In the morning, it catches the sharp edges of the masonry, while at sunset, the stone seems to glow with a warm and golden hue. It is this interaction with nature that keeps the building feeling alive rather than static. Many of the newer structures in the city rely on steel and glass, which mirror their surroundings, but this church holds its ground. It absorbs the history of the neighborhood, acting as a silent witness to the generations that have walked past its doors. Watching the daily life of the city unfold around it, you start to realize that it is more than just a place of worship. It is a landmark of stability in a city defined by constant change. Moving away from the dark, rugged stone of our previous stops, we encounter a building that feels like a sudden burst of sunlight in the middle of Brooklyn. The co-cathedral of St. Joseph offers a complete visual shift. Although the roots of this parish date back to 1853, the magnificent structure you see today was completed in 1914. Designed in the Spanish Colonial style, the cathedral stands out with its bright, near-white facade and vibrant terracotta accents. It is almost as if a piece of Spain or Mexico was transported directly here, offering a sharp and refreshing contrast to the gray and somber Gothic landmarks we have explored so far. The grand towers and clean lines of the exterior create a sense of elegance that differs significantly from the heavy, fortress-like churches of the 19th century. Every detail here, from the arched portals to the decorative motifs, reflects a design philosophy that values light, openness, and warmth. This cathedral is a landmark that has stood through the rapid transformation of the neighborhood, serving as a pillar of the community since the early 20th century. It perfectly bridges the gap between the historic past and the living present of Brooklyn. While other churches command respect through their sheer mass and age, this cathedral captures the eye with its sophisticated proportions and bright, inviting palette. It is a powerful reminder that Brooklyn is a mosaic of influences, where distinct styles from across the globe find their homes side by side. This is where my route through the historic streets of Clinton Hill and Fort Greene comes to an end, but the architecture remains. By exploring these sites, we see more than just stone and mortar. We see the layers of history that define these neighborhoods. Each building is a testament to the people who built them and the community that keeps them standing today. Walking my path and sharing what I see is how I document the changing face of the city. Thank you for following along on this journey through the stone paths of Brooklyn.